Good morning, everyone. You're very, very welcome to the first presentation as part of our Hospitality and Tourism Virtual Career Series here at DKIT. And to launch this particular hospitality and tourism event, we are delighted to be joined by the Conrad Dublin. The Conrad Dublin are no strangers to DKIT and to our students and graduates, and we're delighted to be welcomed back to our virtual campus and look forward to the time when we can welcome them back on campus, hopefully in the not too distant future. We're joined this morning by Niamh Jordan, and Niamh is joining us for I suppose, multiple times on campus and off campus at this stage. Niamh is the HR director with the Conrad Hotels, and also with John Lynch, and John Lynch is front of house manager at the Conrad Hotels Dublin as well. So I'm going to really encourage you to post any questions you have or any comments you want to make into the chat and questions functions. We're delighted to be able to interact with you as students and graduates as part of this series. And we will also have a dedicated time at the end of the presentation for a Q&A. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Niamh, who's going to take you through the presentation. Thank you, Niamh.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Catherine. And yes, you're right. I've been to the campus for a good few years, had to do virtual last year and this year. Can't wait till next year when I'm up there again. Catherine introduced my colleague, John. So John is our front of house manager. He's a graduate of Shannon, where he did hospitality management. And I'm actually a graduate of TU Dublin, which was Cowborough Street, also hospitality management. So we have been where all of you are. We were students at one point coming out into the industry. Don't envy you, it's quite hard doing it during a pandemic. If it's any consolation, I did it many moons ago when the country was in a severe recession. But the fact is, I think you will always find work in our industry, and there's always ways to progress. So I'm going to jump straight into the slides now. I'm going to do the presentation. We have a couple of nice videos to show you, and then of course there'll be the Q&A at the end. So I'll just ask Catherine to let me know if everybody can see that.
Perfect. Thanks, Niamh.
Fantastic. So we are from Conrad Dublin. We are just off Stephen's Green in Dublin city centre. What some people don't realise is we're actually part of Hilton. So we're part of the luxury division of Hilton. Now I'm going to play you a very quick video, which is our Hilton brand video, which gives some great information about our vision, mission, and values. Let me cue that up.
We are a big name in a world that's getting smaller every day. What we do matters. How we join in matters. What we stand for matters. We are hospitality, a responsibility we have never taken lightly. Almost 100 years ago, Conrad Hilton set out to fill the earth with the light and warmth of hospitality. Times have changed, and changed again. We've grown, adapted, innovated. But that ambition, that responsibility to bring light and warmth to people's lives has never faltered. And it never will. Our instinct is still that we look outward, beyond ourselves, to create heartfelt experiences for guests, meaningful opportunities for team members, high value for owners, and positive impact in our communities. We delight with our warmth and smiles and encourage unity through a shared purpose, creating millions of exceptional experiences every day by dedicating ourselves to shaping moments that matter, that people will remember and cherish. They may be small moments, from a fresh cup of coffee to a warm smile at the end of a long day, with more ways to connect when you want to, and disconnect if you really need to. Or they may be the landmarks of life, the beginning of a new journey made unforgettable. a celebration made magical, the speech that transforms a career. For us, celebrating every one of these moments is what we do. Each one is an experience we can add to and enrich. Why? Because we care. Because every one of us at Hilton is driven by a passion that makes the world a richer, warmer, happier place. For our guests, for each other, and for the communities that surround and support us, just as we surround and support them. This is at the heart of who we are and what we do. We're here to fill the earth with the light and warmth of hospitality by helping to create exceptional experiences. Every hotel, every guest, every time. We are Hilton. We are hospitality.
You're on mute, Niamh.
Sorry, just realised I had myself on mute. Sorry about that. So Hilton, everybody has heard of Hilton. We're probably the leading global hospitality company. We have 18 different brands spanning across the lodging sector, and we've more than 6,000 properties. We're actually very close to the million rooms now, and we're in 119 countries and territories. As was mentioned in the video, our vision is to fill the earth with the light and warmth of hospitality by delivering exceptional experiences every hotel, every guest, every time. And our mission, to be the most hospitable company in the world by creating heartfelt experiences for guests, meaningful opportunities for team members, and high value for owners, and for having a positive impact on our communities. What I personally love about our mission is how high up in that our team members are. And within Hilton, they definitely walk the talk that if you take care of your team, then they take care of the guests. And then our values, you probably noticed it's the Hilton spelled down the side. So hospitality, integrity, leadership, teamwork, ownership, and now. So whether you work in one of our folk service properties or you work in our luxury division, those are the values that we hope our team members live by. So just some of our brands. I mentioned that we're part of the luxury division, as did Catherine. So Waldorf Astoria, I'm sure you've all heard of those hotels. Elixir and Conrad, we're the luxury division. And then we have many other brands across full service and focused service and lifestyle hotels. So there's just a few, and I'm sure you'll recognize some of them. And we're literally in almost every single country in the world. Travel with Purpose is our ESG program. So this is obviously about how we make a lasting impact on people's lives, our communities, and the environment. We have set some ambitious targets for 2030. To be fair, as we should be as a big global company. We have made great progress up until 2020. And in 2020, these goals were set for the next 10 years. And that was to further reduce our water use by 50%, reach zero soap to landfill, double our investment in social programs in countries where we operate, and cut our global environmental footprint by reducing our carbon emissions by 61%. And that's already on what we've already achieved. What we believe is that our culture is really our differentiator. We work very hard on making sure diversity. Our industry tends to be have a lot of diversity in that you have an awful lot of different cultures, nationalities, genders, ages. So we are a little bit diverse. What Hilton wants to focus on is to make sure we are inclusive. So that's that everybody's voice is heard at the table. Recognition matters. I've worked for a few different international chains and private companies, and I've never seen anything like the way Hilton looks after recognition of its team members, and it is genuine. And then we also have our tribe at Hilton, and this is, in my opinion, one of the biggest differentiators. We really believe in work-life balance and taking care of our team members. We're also among the greatest places to work in the world. We're #1 in the US and we're #2 in the world. Now that's of all workplaces, that's not just hospitality companies. So you can imagine that is quite a challenge to achieve with the perception of our industry with unsociable hours and the like. But #1 in the US and #2 in the world. We recently had our Great Places to Work survey for Ireland in our hotel, and we didn't get our result for where we rank in Ireland, but we got the result of our Trust Index survey. And in that, we got scores of 97% for engagement and 98% for leadership. Just phenomenal scores, that shows how much, and that was working through summer in hospitality in Dublin. We did that survey at the end of August, and yet our team still felt that we were a great place to work. At Hilton, we have our amazing Go Hilton program. Again, I've worked for other companies where they have a team member program, but you often can't get the rate. It's too hard. Whereas in our hotels, you have to be 92% full before you can close out team member rate. So you can stay in all sorts of amazing places. I love sitting in our staff canteen and hearing where, in normal times, let's face it, not quite during pandemic, but you hear of people off to the Maldives, off to Bora Bora, off to Chicago, and just for very short trips because they can travel so much on their Go Hilton program. There's also, as I mentioned, the recognition, and the recognition is not only good, but we have great career paths for people out of it too. And we also have very competitive starting salary and benefits. Tribe, as I mentioned, our 3 pillars on that is body, mind, spirit. So making sure that our team are healthy in mind and spirit as well. So lots of healthy foods, lots of programs to make sure they're looked after, a really strong mental health program. And then we also do an awful lot in our communities, which helps our team feel that they're giving back. We also actually in Conrad Dublin have our own team member gym, which is very popular. It's open any time of day or night. A lot of hotels may let their staff use their gym in off-peak, but ours is open 24/7 to our staff. And what's great is people often buddy up and do programs together, which creates great atmosphere and is also very motivating when you know you have to meet your colleague down there to do your set. Now, I'm going to just tell you a little bit now, as that was all about Hilton and about Conrad. So I'm briefly going to tell you a little bit about Conrad Dublin. So our hotel currently has 192 rooms. In normal times, we've about 205 to 210 team members. And we have 9 meeting rooms and our conference and events, and we have 3 F&B outlets. We got planning permission approved there about 2 weeks ago for a major expansion project that's looking at adding on about 75 rooms, a large spa with a pool, and also increasing our C&E space, doubling our capacity, as well as putting in a rooftop bar and restaurant. So exciting times for us at Conrad Dublin. We have our Conrad Compass, and I put this in here for presentations to hospitality students because I often get asked, what does luxury mean? We say we're part of the luxury division, but what does that really mean as differentiates us from, say, a good 4-star or a 5-star? So our Conrad Compass is how we use this to describe and train our team members. So we provide flawless, timely service that's intuitive and responsive. We deliver innovative and unexpected experiences. We create authentic connections to celebrate local culture, and we ensure we personalize service at every touch point. And I just love this compass because it really describes very well exactly what luxury service is. Now I'm going to show you a little clip that's like a virtual tour of Conrad Dublin in case you haven't had the opportunity to visit us. John and I, of course, will be very happy to give anyone a tour if they would like to come down and visit us anytime. But for the moment, I'll let you just look at it through the virtual tour. So hopefully that gave you a nice taste for exactly how the hotel looks with that virtual tour. So just a couple of more things to tell you, and then we'll open it up for questions. We have placement opportunities, and to be honest, we also have graduate opportunities. So we have places in our food and beverage. Food and beverage also has it within C&E operations. Thankfully, actually, conference and events is already coming back in a big way. Last week, all of our meeting rooms were occupied, which is fantastic to see. So that's building up quickly. We've housekeeping, we've culinary, and we also have front office. And that does depend on experience and whether we have the opportunity on front desk. We can do rotational placements. We also have our own full-time learning and development person. We have a full-time training manager, which is a great support to students. We have our Hilton University, which is our online library of training, which is a vast amount of training. Some, of course, is the stuff you have to do, health and safety, food safety, but there's an awful lot of great resources, which is great for a development. When you work with us, you have access to that. And in that is also free. It's all the LinkedIn learning and also the Harvard Managed Mentor training. So fantastic resources for anybody who's on the career path in hospitality. We also have a collaborative management team. We just have such a nice HOD group that they're so happy to help students. They'll help you with your reflections. They'll help you with projects. And they're always eager to show you more and give you more responsibility if you show that bit of spark. I will just briefly talk about a couple of amazing graduate programs that there are available with Hilton as well, because I know that is probably of interest to some of you. We have EDGE, which is our revenue management graduate program. So once you graduate, you get on that, and it's an 18-month placement in our EMEA head office, our Revenue Management Centre, or MCC, which is in Watford. We also have our Elevator program. Now that's our elite Hilton program, where you're guaranteed to become a GM in 7 years from the time of graduating, and you spend 9 months on international placements. One placement is around operations, where you do front office, F&B, rooms, you do all the upside, and then the other 9 months is your finance, your revenue, your HR, and then also working with the senior management in the hotel. And you also have a big business project to complete during that. And then the idea is once you come out of that, Hilton are going to find you an assistant HOD or a HOD role in a hotel. Finesse is our finance graduate program, and you do 2 12-month international placements. And then there's our management development program, which is an operational one, which hopefully gets you in a very intensive rotational program where you get into all of the departments, and then you're ready to be like a duty manager and assistant when you come. If you would like to connect with us, you can follow us on Instagram, and you can also connect with us on LinkedIn at Conrad Dublin. I have John's and my email address there, so please feel free to reach out to either of us. We also like to help students, whether it's maybe not coming on your placement now, but you have questions about Hilton, or it's something for further down the road. We love helping those on their career path. Just remember, we were you at one point, so we know what it's like. I would also recommend that you just put in Hilton careers into your search, and you're going to come to the Hilton site, and it's really easy to register, and that way you can get alerts for when there's jobs coming up anywhere in Hilton, anywhere in the world. So it takes the work out of looking for jobs. You just register there, and then you get your alerts. Really easy to do. So just go Hilton careers, and then it's really easy to put in your information. So I think we are going to open up the floor now for some questions, whether it's about the presentation or Conrad Dublin. I'll turn the floor back over to Catherine.
Thank you so much, Niamh. A really fantastic insight into the Conrad Dublin, reminding us all of what we've missed out on over the past number of years, and the luxury came across really clear, and I suppose the ethos of Hilton, the Conrad Hotel itself, and really important for students to tune into that and look back on this presentation. I would encourage you, when you are making your applications, which no doubt you will be, and just to that, there are just a question did come in around I suppose the Hilton values and that now aspect, and just what that means again in terms of
yes,
how important it is to link into that as well, Niamh, when you are making your applications.
Yes, and the now, to be honest, is simply that sense of urgency of getting something done in a timely manner. Not, I'll do it tomorrow. And it's not to rush it. It's just to get things done in a timely manner, which is also part of our luxury one. But we get asked that now on an awful lot. That's okay, I think, because the others are obvious what they stand for, but that's what the now is.
Brilliant. Linked into that, okay, I've been watching your presentation as a student or as a recent graduate, and I'm interested in applying. In terms of that process, what's involved? What are the key steps to that, or what can a student expect?
So ideally, most students will just apply directly to me. You can also apply to John. Usually, obviously, we like a CV, but I particularly like a good description in the email of what you're looking for. It's really helpful for us to understand what you're looking for. So, for example, if somebody wants, I see a question's coming up there about culinary, that then I can bring the head chef to that interview. Or if it's for front office, John will come to the interview rather than coming on a call. And I do get it sometimes with students, I don't know what I want. I want experience in management. we can't put a student in charge of the hotel, but we can give you a great experience of learning about areas of the hotel. So being clear on what you want is very useful. John, anything you would add to that?
Sorry, just taking myself off mute there. So I just saw a question come in at experience needed for placement for front office. So really what we would be looking for is someone who is, I suppose, maybe worked at the front desk before or has some sort of front desk experience previous.
Yeah, I think a lot of people maybe have a glamorized notion of what front desk is, but the reality is it's actually really hard. You're juggling a lot of balls in the air at the same time. It can take about 6 months to be really proficient at the desk. So for us, someone coming on placement for 6 months will barely have them trained and they're gone. And the reality is in a luxury hotel, when people are paying 300, 350 per night, they're not really that patient about being checked in by a trainee or a placement. This is sadly the reality of it. But I've often seen people come to us maybe in another department, prove themselves a bit of a superstar, and then being moved to the desk.
Yeah, a lot of it, there's a lot of different systems that you're using at the front desk and you're juggling them at the same time. So maybe if you went into the F&B side of things or housekeeping and you learned the systems from there, we saw you adapted to them very well, then we would definitely give the opportunity to get you onto the desk and upskill from there. I just saw another question come in from Barry there. If we take on mature students, of course, Barry, absolutely. All applications are welcome, absolutely.
I also see a question about culinary placements, and we actually do get a lot of culinary students. We get actually those who are doing culinary, and we also get those doing hospitality management who want experience in culinary because they want that expertise. So we've a biggish kitchen brigade. Usually those coming to us on culinary are usually put in pastry first. And we have the absolutely most gorgeous woman in the world, Brizida, who's our head pastry chef, who's just amazing with students. And then, of course, they can get the opportunity to get into other areas of the kitchen while they're with us. But yes, we do take culinary students.
Great. Yeah. So they're the questions. And I suppose that idea of having the end goal of where it is you want to be, whether that be front office or different areas, but that idea within the hospitality sector of building up your skill by having that entry level experience and building on that. Is that true? That's the way in which you like to see that experience being developed and skill being developed?
Absolutely. I think it's very true that, your credibility as a manager comes from the fact that you actually understand how the jobs are done. Now, a general manager will tell you, and it's right, the reason you hire HODs is you have real experts in some areas, but you have to know a little bit of how everything's done. You have to understand how all the department works, if you're on that track. It's important to build up that skill set. Sorry, John, I'll let you.
Yeah, just for myself, when I was on placement, sorry, just a bit of an echo there. When I was on placement, I did every department. So I actually worked in the kitchen for 6 months. I worked in housekeeping. And then when I became a trainee manager, I again did all the departments. And I think that really gives you a really good idea of the whole hotel. And then obviously when I went to specialize at the front desk, it helped because I suppose the front desk is the heart of the hotel. So you bring all the departments together. So absolutely, the more departments you have, the better upskilling you can get.
Well, that's great. Wonderful insight. The 30 minutes has almost come to an end. That's how quick it goes. I know you will have whetted many appetites in terms of applications to Conrad Dublin. And what I would say, as I say, Niamh and John have generously provided their emails to you. Do not be afraid to make contact directly with them around those opportunities. And look back on this presentation in advance of that, so that you're making sure that you're putting your best foot forward in terms of those applications also. So I suppose it just remains for me to say a huge thank you to Niamh and John, and to the continued support of Conrad Dublin of the DKIT students and graduates. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. Our pleasure.
Thank you very much.